Hey folks, this is Richard Moore, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association, on YouTube, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. I uploaded a couple, or made a couple of live videos over Thursday and Friday, and since last 12, 13 hours here, I've been uploading new data, documentation, video and photographic documentation of some of the latest events in gang stalking. I'm obviously doing this outside, hoping to encourage the drive-by stalking, community policing, moronic, peeping Tom perverts to rear their head. They usually don't disappoint. I've got a few cameras rolling. You're not going to be able to see much of the traffic, but you should hear them. And again, they may lay down for this. I don't know. As stated before, we if you go on our page, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association, and choose the link, it's an invitation to our TI Witness Evidence Data Collection Band. If you download that app, and once you use the invite to get into our band. And then you choose the option, create your own band. There is your private database for you to enter evidence, notes, any form of documentation, videos, etc. We're encouraging every TI in the United States to join this band and submit documentation. We also encourage those that are already on the band to use this platform as your daily diary of what you're experiencing and what you're going through. Long gone are the days of that doesn't prove anything, or whatever. It does. You're not crazy. You're not hallucinating. So all of the lies that community policing have built into this scenario, ignore that. I've said it before, my direct targeting started in 2005. I've also stated before that there's nothing new about what's going on today. The name changes from Neighborhood Watch to community policing, all the way back to the Stasi program. It's started within my family, not as participants, but as targets in the 1970s. So this is an old whore in a new dress, friends. This is nothing new, okay? Technology, of course, is advanced, and now with the advancement of technology and supercomputers and this nano data and all these things have placed us on a different playing field. So now, with that said, it makes it difficult for the targeted individual to ascertain reality from the smoke and mirrors that this program is designed around, to cloak what's really going on. So we're taking the bricks and mortar approach here, okay? I'm not going to try to spend a lot of time because I don't have the time nor the expertise nor want the expertise to try to circumvent the processes of supercomputers that have all of this analytical data and this real-time data and predictive software and all these things that obviously, and we're getting the color parade back here, but and I'm capturing it. It's wonderful. So getting the sound of it. Now, back to our federal class action. We're going after the contractors and the government agencies, including the front line. Without these people, this program would not be successful, and without the willing involvement of law enforcement, local, state, and federal, this program could not have the legs that it has. Again, we're talking about money. Now we know that the federal government stopped funding, and you can look that up. It was about 2 months ago, the COPS program. I'm sure they parlayed it to other things. But today I want to address something that, if someone else has addressed it, I'm not aware of it. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But we want to address in probably an area or segment of people that may not realize that they're targets, and I'm convinced that the majority of the people in America and globally that are targeted haven't a clue. There's a large percentage of them probably on psych meds at mental hospitals, prisons, or jails, are 6 foot under. Their marriages, their relationships destroyed. They've been isolated from friends and family. They're getting the silent treatment. Everything seems weird. A perception that the whole world is coming. And let me tell you what, friend. It's not the whole world. It's not everybody. This is part of the game. Okay? This is part of the game. Stalking and harassment and intimidation. These are crimes. Period. There's no program. There's no judicial proceeding or process that allows for this type of behavior. This is the purpose of the deceit and the denial and the smokescreen and so forth. Now, in order for them to get to perfect their program of controlling the masses, they have to have targets. Now, so you can say, why? Why is a false narrative, okay? I just told you why. They have to have targets. Now, you could say it's whatever it is. I did this, I was a whistleblower, my shoes are too big, I cussed too much, whatever it is. That's a lie. All they need is a target. It does help that you that you may at one time have been a sinner. Of course, Jesus said, "Those of you without sin cast the first stone." Because nobody can pick one up. They pick them up, and the only reason they use that is because they wouldn't be able to get the full support of local fundamentalist churches that and fake Christians and people that are persecuting people and torturing people and participating in a program whether they know that are aware of everything that's being done. Of course they don't. Of course they haven't been told. But that does not alleviate them from any culpability of criminal prosecution and guilt. Now, there's nothing about community policing that that a true Christian, a true follower of Christ, could not in any way be a part of any type of community policing. It is a direct conflict with the Word of God. This does not win people to Christ. It does not save souls. It does not mend broken hearts. It does not put families back together. It does not let God and the Holy Spirit, through the shed blood of Christ, do what it's supposed to do. Matter of fact, it is a direct contrast to Christ and Him crucified and what Christianity stands for. If you're not a Christian, and say, well, is there another formula I can follow? Not that I'm aware of, friend. There's only one way. With that said, these people capitalize on those that are vulnerable and that are more susceptible to being controlled and being used as human lab rats, if you will. It's like Dr. Evil on steroids, my friends, but it's real. If you don't believe it's real, then we'd have to say Adolf Hitler is a myth. And the fact that they exterminated 6 million Jews is a myth. But if we accept history for what it is, think about that. This program of community policing would make Adolf Hitler himself blush. This is facts, folks. The facts are facts. So how do you get to the head of the beast? Well, what we're doing is we're following the trail, the money trail, the paper trail. It's all about money, folks. About the almighty dollar. We know that the dollar, it rules the world. It doesn't matter who controls the dollar rules the world. Not one drop of oil traded anywhere in the world in any currency other than the dollar. You buy a barrel of oil in Kuwait and it goes to Spain. It's traded in dollars. It's all about the dollar, friend. Now, who are the people that are more susceptible to being exploited? These are the people that the church and the community should actually be reaching out to. And in their mind, they're reaching out to them. They're destroying them and torturing them and using them for lab rats, all the while trying to pretend like nothing's really going on. Those days are over, stalker. and they're cowards, they're perverts, peeping toms, and the list goes to Uncle Toms. The list goes on and on and on. Now, they exploit through people's proclivity to overindulge, or maybe what some would say maybe a proclivity for addiction or what have you, whether it be alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, and so forth. This is going somewhere, folks. Now, so they tailor programs around and use a stimulant trigger mechanisms through these frontline crash dummies that are not operating with a lot of intelligence. I mean, I can spot them a mile away. Their IQ level is low. They're just simple things like the ability to just say no after the 10th trip to an all-you-can-eat buffet, or simple operating simple tools like a toothbrush, for instance. So that's your average crash dummy stalker riding around with a telephone like that, passing you in packs and the colors and all that. And I've got so much footage of that. You could take this drop in the middle of a Hutu tribe in the middle of Hottentotten or whatever, and show, and they could explain to you what the hell's going on. Okay, now, so we're not on a mission to convince the whole world that this is happening. That's just that's a tall order. But I'm going to give you the short order. The short order is all we need to do is convince 12, and that's the makeup of a jury in a federal court, Washington, D.C., and that's what we're doing, okay? Now, they're doing everything to circumvent that. Don't make no mistake about it, that they're well aware of those that are involved in doing this, and they have pulled all the stops. Over the last couple of days, I didn't realize that you could get that many idiots all on the same page. But honey, you can. Now, cowards too, mind you. I have to emphasize that. I'm just hoping and praying that God will, one of them will just break rank and get out of character and let me have an opportunity with them. They know I live for that. But at any rate, for those that live in areas are frequent anything to do with gambling, not limited to the lottery or even scratch tickets. Okay, let's talk about gambling, the gambling and casino industry as a whole. What do we know about them? Well, we know how and who started Las Vegas, and it's I mean, we know the story. If you don't know the story, familiarize yourself with it. If it weren't for the mafia and the Mormons, we wouldn't have Las Vegas. Okay, Sin City wouldn't be there. Now, after 9/11, Homeland Security was created, and they partnered with some people to help beef up our surveillance, where we could maybe be on the same page with Israel, for instance, that has one of the most probably sophisticated counterterrorism surveillance operation on this planet. And so Homeland Security, with the Patriot Act, my friends, was a death warrant for freedom. Now, how do you sell this big death warrant for freedom to a free country? It takes something like 9/11 to happen. That happened, and on the heels of that, something that was supposed to be temporary is part of the deal. Okay. What they've yet to figure out is we still have other things in place that they have just rolled over and spit on. And one thing that comes to mind is it's Uncle Tom staring over here. One thing that comes to mind is the Constitution. And the Constitution, my friend, is still in effect. It's a shame that we have to force those that swore to uphold and protect the Constitution to actually do that. When you see this protect and serve, you don't get the misconception that has anything to do with citizens. It is a protect and serve, but not the citizens. Okay, it doesn't say that. Protect and serve each individual citizen. That, my friend, is something that's not what the deal is. Okay, so Homeland Security and the casino industry got in bed full time after 9/11, and my friend, they've been in the honeymoon suite ever since. It's give and take, obviously. They've shared technology, and now with facial recognition, and the community policing program. Uh, Thank you, Department of Homeland Security and Department of Justice, and for those in Washington, what President Trump calls the deep state, for simply trying to minimize the Constitution as simply a historical document at best. So purposely and systematically, citizens, hundreds and thousands of citizens, American citizens, are being deprived of their civil rights. They're being deprived of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They're being deprived of due process. They're being systematically tortured in so many different ways by the use of technology and everyday people that have drank the Kool-Aid, that only Jim Jones was just a shade tree mechanic when it comes to mixing the Kool-Aid. Our government, the most powerful country in the world, has a Kool-Aid mixture now, folks. And look at what's going on now. Look at the races pitted against race, and this the virus, and so forth and so on. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of activity going on, or the lack thereof. All of that. While all that's going on, what's really going on behind the scenes? Ignore that man behind the curtain. Well, I'm not going to ignore the man behind the curtain. I know for a fact that that the casino industry, and I'll name one in particular that I experienced over the last 72 hours, and that's Harrah's Gulf Coast Casino. They're not the only ones. On my way to Harrah's, I'm on a mission of evidence gathering. I carefully planned a trip, and I set in place a lot of things that I was going to do over a 4 or 5 day period. I only made one other individual family member privy to my schedule, where I was going, what I was doing, what have you. The rest of it was just standard things where you make reservations, whether it be online or telephone, so forth and so on. So thereby limiting, in other words, there's a small set of parameters of if a person was going to stalk or try to circumvent anything I was doing, there's only a small set of parameters that they'd be able to work to be able to ascertain my movement. Now, with that said, there's a difference between ad hoc and spontaneous flash mobbing and so forth, where they're trying to get ahead and predict your next move and so forth and so on. There's a difference between that. There's a difference between having complete foreknowledge of your complete itinerary and having everything set in place prior to you going to where you're going and doing what you're doing. If you've been a target for any length of time, you've witnessed both. Now, I have suspected since, I don't know, maybe for the last 15 years, of the casino industry's involvement. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I knew that it's that they were involved, and so as documentation continued, and of crash dummies that would just people say, "What? Let's go to the casinos." Mind you, never from a person that is a professional gambler, as I say, professional loser. You know, his places weren't built on winners. These are people that that's not their deal. Now, why all of a sudden do they want to go to a casino? They're not gamblers, or they. I mean, you know, it was information that obviously their handlers had fed to them. So I knew for years that why are they always trying to get? And then when I do get into those scenes, then it's amazing at the things that unfold. The people that approach you, that talk to you, and the situations where people try to set you up, and from casinos sending a ringer in on a craps table, and so forth. And I've called them on the carpet about that. There, I'm telling you what, dealing with these folks that run casinos, let me tell you, it is worse than dealing with the mafia, the mob. And I've dealt with both, by the way. I know people from both walks of life, and so I know what I'm talking about. Now, Harrah's. So within less than now, I am stalked from heavily by their new pattern, their new little approach that I have, and I don't want to ruin the video footage that I'm going to be uploading. But anyway, and I've got to do some editing, take some of the commentary out, because I don't want to try to enter any suggestion of what I'm saying, and just let you and let the public be figured out for themselves. This is the type of information that we want you to submit on our band site. Okay, so I am filming, by the way, everything. I've got 3 cameras operating. If you don't have a GoPro or something along that, I recommend GoPro. It's just better imaging and so forth. But I'm using that. I've got other ones that are motion activated. So when my vehicle is parked somewhere, I'm in anywhere, anything moving it doesn't have to be close either. When these cameras pick up movement, so they do use up a lot of memory, and that you can upload all that stuff and keep that to a cloud storage or to band. You're not limited. Now, I am in on a 4-lane highway on the Gulf Coast. I believe it's 98. I don't know. That goes from runs through Biloxi and Gulfport and through that area. Now, this is Thursday night around 10 o'clock, okay? Believe it or not, it's not real busy on the Gulf Coast on Thursday night at 10 o'clock, and that coupled with this virus, I mean, it's just very little traffic. And I am, of course, there's the most activity that's on there are these morons on their stalking mission, okay? They had big plans, and I know they had big plans they had my whole itinerary, okay? And so I changed it. Of course, they probably wanted me to change it and wanted to screw that up somehow. But they played right into what I had hoped would happen. In order for me to make the endeavor that I make like that, it takes first of all God has to be with you. I can tell you, Fred. If you don't know Him, then I suggest you start working on that. Number one, that's where your peace and your security, your sanity, your freedom, your liberty, everything only comes from God. But these are these types of missions and assignments to collect evidence are not for the faint of heart. Okay, because they will do everything within their power to get you to act out of character, uh, and that will obviously destroy the target. Okay, so they want to provoke you, or at least they think they do. I'm convinced that there's a percentage of the people involved in stalking that are prepared to lay their lives down in order to torture a person. Okay, they must be. Okay, because the thought that you can stalk and harass another person, another human being, and be free of any type of repercussions that might not end up too good, that's insane to believe that. One would think that you've got to assume that every person that you're harassing and stalking has to have a whole book of documentation. They don't have to have anything. Just a ill thought is all they need. So there it goes. This is Sunday, you know. It's of course we got these regular old stalkers doing that, and they're defiant. You know, it's just you know it's stalking today. It was wrestling for years, but now that wrestling has kind of seen its heyday, now they've gone. That same crowd has gone from watching WWF to stalking. Okay, you get the picture. It's hurt the bingo parlors too, and Candy Crush. You know, it's people have laid that down. Stalking's more fun. Okay, they now they're in control of something, and they're working for the man. They've got their cops. And they love this. Okay, so. I'm in the 4-lane, and I'm riding in the left lane, which is I mean, you could on some highways, you know, it's a passing lane only or what have you. This that it's nothing of the sort there. But the stalking had been going on all day. And they would systematically speed. They'd lay back in the cut and then speed, then shoot by, you know, trying to bait you. And then of course, 9 times out of 10, there's always law enforcement ahead, or at least they want you to believe that. But I've got plenty of the law enforcement, and all this scenario has played out time after time after time. And I videoed it, okay? So, but law enforcement will be laying in the cut. Now, I've gotten several speeding tickets before by playing along with it. Be 10 or 15 cars going, passing me 80 and 90 and 100 miles an hour. And me be doing 70 or 75, and the state trooper, police officer, or park ranger watch them pass, and then boom, target me, and then pull me over. Okay, I've voiced those complaints to the highest authorities in law enforcement, and who in the beginning tried to say, "You mean to tell me you're saying all these people?" I said, "You can save that hogwash for an idiot. You mean to tell me that you're even trying to insult my intelligence? We're not even going to have that conversation. That's stupidity. Of course they are. You know the deal. Now, act like they don't know anything about community policing. They do. If you say gang stalking, they know what that is too. But they're like, what are you talking about? They're just imbeciles, okay? So at any rate, I'm on the 4-lane. It's 65 is the speed limit, okay? These cars are doing the same, the shit fly shuffle, and I'm in the passing lane going 60, okay? On purpose. in that lane. I'm filming oncoming traffic, doing the brighting with the headlights and stuff, and I'm picking up the people passing. As I get very close to my destination, I notice that there's law enforcement sitting off in the cut. Pass on by. I don't change anything I'm doing. First of all, law enforcement posted up, whether it's 1 or 1,000, does not change my behavior, okay? They're not the boogeyman. Not for me, they're not, okay? There's not a thing in the world that they can do or say that hadn't already been done or said to this old boy, okay? They put their pants on just like me. And the only difference is I don't care how many badges or guns and blue lights or whatever, okay? Not scared. I don't live in fear. I'm a free American citizen. And if I'm breaking the law, do your job. If I'm not, stay the hell out of my face. And I promise you, I won't call you on it. I've done it. I've sued them in federal court, sheriff's departments, including the Department of Justice. I've not made many friends in that area, but they do know that this old boy here ain't going. All right. So anyway, so Lord, here he pulls in behind me. I'm not changing. I'm gonna tap my brakes. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna kiss my ass. You followed me. I'm used to being followed by police, whether it be the toothless tweaker over here, or Uncle Tom, or who else. I'm used to that, and it's not really happening anyway. So I don't see anybody, whatever you want to call it. And there he goes. He lights me up. I said, here we go. But the camera's rolling. I pull over. They creep up there, like they're creeping up on Godzilla or something. And Mr. Moore, do you know why we pulled you over? I said, I have absolutely no idea. I know they pulled it. The stalkers, you see, their narrative. He's on dope, he's drinking, whatever. That's some kind of bullshit narrative they run ahead of the deal. He said, well, you were driving really slow in the passing lane. I said, the speed limit's 65. I was doing 60. I says, there's no traffic out here. I'm listening to music. I'm enjoying myself. As if I had to explain any of that shit. Well, this will make sure somebody's not here that had too much to drink. No. I just told you what the deal is. I gave my license. You want me in? Yeah. Is this your vehicle? Yeah, it's my vehicle. You don't have any warrants here? Knock yourself out. No. I should ask him if he had any. Or did he have a life other than being a stalker puppet. And so he comes back, and then he wanted to question about, I said, I've never seen about a dash cam in the back. What you got? What you want to know? I said, well, I got a lot of things going on in my life, okay? Vandalism to my vehicle and stuff like that. And I said, I got them running all over this thing. This is not the first time, folks. They pulled over. At one time, I let them, you anything in your car? I let them go, naively let them go through my vehicle. Folks, don't ever do that, okay? Make them get helicopters, a SWAT team, and a herd of trained, multilingual dogs, and probable cause and a search warrant before you let them in there, because nothing prevents a dirty cop from setting you up, okay? Those are facts. Now, so he makes comments about the camera stuff. Where are you going? How long are you going to be in town? Yeah, he knew all that. I mean, I was, not worked up as, they're trying to ascertain my attitude, my demeanor prior to me going to my destination, which I was real close. Now, this is important, okay? I know that's why they're doing that. It's two-pronged. First, intimidation, knock me off guard. Second, let's ascertain where he is, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of us good old boys around him, and we already know he's got a knack for spotting us, and God forbid somebody get gutted right in front of God and the whole world. And so that's the other reason they did that. So once I arrived at my destination at Harrah's, they had the reservation there, and so and it was made for one person. Of course, they had two on there. I don't know who in the hell the other person was. You know, I see that after the fact, and it. I have I can read people pretty good. As I walk into the casino, and this is how you gauge what is going on. This I had to find out and figure out with not any looking for anything specific. Just operate with my eyes and ears open, and I had seen what I see many times. I could tell that the pit bosses and security, they're all in plain clothes, are kind of got their shoulders squared, and they have a look. If you've seen one, if you've been around it, that you know how the management and security carry themselves in casinos. You know they're they fit a certain profile. They have you know them when you see them, and you can tell when things are everything is going smoothly, or you can tell when they're watching something, they're looking for something, or they're alerted to something. I mean, you can read it, and so I was aware pretty quick that they posted up, and I came in. You'd think that Elvis had been raised from the dead or something. Now, there wasn't that many people in there in the casino at this time. Now, folks, it takes no skill at all to operate a slot machine. Okay, there's no skill there. If it wasn't slot machines, all the casinos would be finished. A monkey can pull a lever. Okay, mash a button. It doesn't take any skill. I mean, if you're playing baccarat, blackjack, or craps, that's a skill. You do have an edge. And the house has no edge, of course, in poker because you're playing each other. They just get a piece of the action. But outside of those 4 games, everything else is a sucker bet. Okay. Now, in order for them to step out there and do what they're going to do, I have to be doing sucker bets. Okay. I get on a slot machine. You're not going to listen. You don't beat slot. So, but when you do that, they say, okay, he's thrown off, so we can. That's how they're gauging me. Their full-time job is playing me. My full-time job is playing them. I've been doing it for a long time, folks, and when I do it, they step their asses out there, and I get evidence, Now. I've got something for the commissioner, the chairman of the Mississippi Gambling Commission. He'll be getting that soon. So the casino industry? Let me tell you. Let me be real clear about it. The casino industry, Caesars Entertainment, all of them. Okay. Steve Wynn, the whole deal. Let me tell you what, folks, they're in bed with this community policing program. Okay, that's why when this Colvoy thing hit, you heard, they were talking about it on the news. We're going to get the casinos open back up, and they did. Not the churches. That's the first thing that closed. They can't. Matter of fact, they was people going to churches in Mississippi and sitting in their cars and listening to a preacher, and every one of them got a ticket. Casinos were open. How is that possible? Let me tell you what. Well, this is the way community policing. though the powers that be runs it. Money talks and bullshit walks. And if and to them, the church and the citizens of this country and the Constitution is bullshit. Okay, so it's all about money. Now, do you believe that the casinos have the ability that those slot machines that and if you'll notice, and maybe you may not know, the majority of those, and if not all of them, they're all Chinese. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying anything about China, but God forbid. But you know, they have been in the headlines lately. But anyway, you think all that's random? Is it possible that they can that technology has got us to a point where those things can be controlled that would circumvent even security protocols that are put in place to keep that from happening? Yeah, of course. Anything can be circumvented. Folks, nothing is foolproof. And who's gonna do anything about it if it had been circumvented? They're all in bed together, folks. It's the fox garden and hen house. I leave the casino and I travel over to Florida and I make a U-turn. I know where they thought what I was going to do, but that was never the plan. And so I knew when I changed what I was doing, they start scrambling and get more aggressive, which they did. So I made it back later the next day. And still, this baiting, and with the cars passing and the patrol car posted up, and Florida Department of Transportation playing their part in the deal. Mississippi Department of Transportation playing their deal. Folks at highway departments, the people that regulate the trucking industry and the highways and stuff like that, don't think for a minute they're not big players in this community policing criminal game stalking scam, but they are. I get back and I notice everything. Okay, I don't react to it no more than they react to it. So they've got somebody posted up at the entrance from the parking garage in there. A younger black man sitting there. I know he's posted. I mean, they every time I went out, they've got somebody posted up. Okay, they make sure that you're not going to move anywhere. They're going to know it. Okay, and they want you to know it too. So stalking doesn't work if it's all clandestine. Okay, they've got to have they got to keep you off the rail trail by having stuff out in front of you distracting you all the time. And so when you're under stress and worry and confusion, then that decision making, problem solving frontal cortex part of your brain is not functioning properly, and you will make bad decisions and poor and so forth and so on. They know this. That's why they try to create this within the targeted community. Feelings of wellness, confusion, depression, suicidal thoughts, hopelessness, and so forth. Only then are they able to fully exercise their lab rat program. Okay, and make you just be wandering aimlessly, be a wandering generality, and not actually having a clue at what's going on or where you're going or what's next. Okay. And I've told you the answer to all that. God is the only one you need to have your eye on. He said, I came to give you life and to give you life more abundantly. The devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. And folks, don't ever think that he came and left. Okay, he's alive and well, and he's operating from behind the pulpits, from Masonic lodges, boardrooms, at corporations. Everybody's got their finger in the pie because it's all about the dollar, including Walmart. You see, Walmart's. Well, let me look. Yes, including Walmart. My God, how many? You realize how many small, independent entrepreneurs, business owners, mom and pop companies all over this country, hundreds and thousands were put under by Walmart. A lot of people paid for what Walmart has done. It's I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back. Listen. Every Walmart on this planet, they're all their security systems, Homeland Security, and God only knows how many other private contractors get direct feed from that same system that's in the Walmart. And with facial recognition, they know where you are instantly. Traffic signal, traffic lights. There's no such thing as privacy anymore. What better way to not only to have an effective stalking program with satellites and drones and the facial recognition software? Thank you, Las Vegas. And getting all this collective information together. And Dr. Evil has got something really big in the works. Now, we're going to drag out that old historical document that they don't like, and that's called the Constitution. And hundreds and thousands of people have died to defend that Constitution. My friend, you're looking at one of them that will do the same. Okay? I will do the same. I'm going to exercise, and I want to make sure, and I'm not the only one, that our rights and freedoms are no longer and continuously and purposely and systematically violated, and the sins, and not only the sins but the crimes against humanity must come to an end. Now, and this only happens by exposing the lie. And you can only expose that with the true light. And that true light is one thing, it's truth. Now, tell you what, folks. Where did my agenda and itinerary, because the casino industry is tied in with community policing, so the community policing get real-time information on what you're doing with the casinos. They're sharing that information, okay? The casino willingly participates in a program to deprive a patron of their assets. You say, well, guess what chance you take with gambling? Not if it's skewed. Not if there's a fly in the ointment, my friend. There's a set of absolute rules and regulations. When you go over and above those, and you're doing things that we don't do that anymore. Gambling industry is controlled. Well, you bet your bottom dollar it's controlled. But saying that the gambling industry is controlled and regulated still does not say it's legal. Okay? There's the big gulf fix between reality and what's really going on. Entering back in, the young man's posted up, and then his companion, supposedly, is with him. They immediately get up ahead of me and head into to the entrance, and he makes a signal. It's an obvious signal. So he's letting whoever know it's showtime. He goes in, and so we got this Barney Fife-looking security guy with a mask on and all that, and I see him, and they're showing him his ID. I'm telling you out of context, folks. This I've seen a lot of it, present your ID and stuff like that, but this was out of context. All right, they were obviously not underage. It was obvious that the proximity of where they were and proximity where the security guard was. He'd been around. This deal had already been planned. So this is kind of lay the groundwork as to make me assume that everything is normal. So I'm next, and I walking through, and how you doing? And, yeah, I'm fine. They want to see my ID. I may be underage. I mean, really? I said, sure. Yeah. He said, well, you must have smelled a rat. Folks, I smelled a rat in 2005, and I still smell it, okay? So, hell, everything's a rat until these people, the rats, are brought to justice, okay? That's the only thing that's going to clear the air for me. Now, he said, okay, so he takes my ID, and he goes and he said, like that, looked at something like that, and then he comes back, and he said, sir, I was told not to allow you to come in. I said, really? Now, when he took my ID and he pretended or either really was looking at something as if it was written down or reading something, whatever, I said, really? I'm waiting for, this better be good, like real good. I we were told that you've been drinking too much. Now, I just came off a 5-hour road trip, folks. I said, I can turn it up a little bit. I need some background music over there. I said, fella, I hadn't had a drop to drink. I said, I look or sound like I've been drinking. I said, you got me mixed up with somebody else. I said, so I guess the next thing is you may need to get somebody. Okay? Well, hi, maybe I'm just, let me just call somebody, the other person that, and so he, yeah, I'm standing there, and I don't know if he picked the phone up or he may have one, some Star Trek deal. They may talk into the palm of their hand. Hell, I don't know. And so I'm sitting there, sure, I'm waiting. I got the rest of my life for you to try to clean up your game here, Harris. And I will say how Harrah's cleans it up. This is what implicates Harrah's, okay? There's complete involvement. So this other, finally, he said, well, she's coming out, or he is coming out to talk. I said, good. So I have, I'm expecting to see one of the suits that was in there, like that. But let me tell you what. Listen, they wouldn't be able to send one of them suits out there on me. They gonna get. Listen, that's not gang stalking. They gonna put a crash dummy on you. They gonna put the old security guards in the cross. These fools get out here and do all this stupid shit. These are crash dummies. They don't believe they're crash dummies. Believe me, you're expendable. Okay, trust me. There you go. And so, yeah, they stalking by. Want y'all to see that. And so this, and of course, I'm in Alpine, which is in Union County, and it's heavy with. It took me a while to realize is it the incest or is it the stalking or both? And I didn't figure that out, but a little both maybe. But at any rate, so this other girl comes out, and while she's coming now, he says, well, it was somebody, they saw on camera that they was being escorted, and they had a blue shirt on, like yours. I said, had a blue shirt like mine, and covered with tattoos and all that. Well, I don't know about tattoo stuff. He said, we just not want to make sure. And so now that he's trying to insinuate that, listen, there's more cameras. There's 1 million eyes on you in and around a casino. Folks, they invented facial recognition and surveillance in real time. You can walk into a casino anywhere on this planet, and they're going to know it instantly. That's a fact. There's not any confusion or mistaken identity when it comes to surveillance in and around a casino. They know what confused. They know who in the hell you are, everything about you. That's facts, boys. Now, I said, okay. So she comes on out there, and I don't know that I'm really thinking, well, maybe they're going to send a suit out here, okay? And where I need me a bigger dot to connect here, they're going to throw me a bone. So this girl comes out here, and she's Barney Fife's counterpart, and I'm not knowing that she's the one that escorted the mystery man that looked just like me out because he'd been drinking too much. So I'm talking to her, and she said, she tells him he's okay. And I'm like, who's okay? She said, you can go in. She said, you're not the one. And I was thinking to myself, bitch, you right, I ain't the one. But I said, okay, then, I go in there. The gig was up. So I get in the casino, and then finally, I'm waiting for them to make their next move, and they did. If you met one or two, and it's not anything disparagingly about cocktail waitresses, but if you met one, you met them all. Okay, I mean, you just maybe for a novice or a dummy, you would. So I get this lady that comes by, and now in casinos, folks, unless you're high rolling, even that at a table. You have to beg to get somebody to come around with a bottle of water or something, especially if you're on a roll. If you're on a roll, you'll sit there and die of dehydration. Okay, the last thing they're gonna do is they want you to break your monotony and go and look for something or start worrying about getting a cocktail or something like that. And I don't drink or anything like that when I gamble anyway. And this is not about gambling. This is about entering into an environment and situation where I know that they're under the full assumption that I'm vulnerable to whatever their plans are. And so this lady comes by, and there's not really anybody in this area that I'm in. Would you like something to drink? I said, yeah, bring me. I asked for a soda, and she's not a cocktail waitress. She is more in the line of somebody that works for Vice or something like that. Okay, and at this time of the night, with her looks and her and everything like that, she wasn't supplementing her income and all that. It was a and plus the whole deal. Okay, it was a she didn't even know what the hell she was doing. Okay, and I started noticing some anomalies with these slot machines and stuff, and I'm like, I know I'm not imagining this. I'm sitting there talking to myself. I said, these people have absolutely. But one thing I do know, let's go back to the surveillance and so forth, okay? Now, unless all this stuff just mysteriously disappears, that is an implication of somebody's got something to hide. But if it doesn't disappear, somebody has got something to explain, okay? I'm just kind of touched. I'm not going to give away or show my cards in this manner. I'm just going to tell you that Harrah's casino sealed the deal for the casino industry as a whole, their involvement. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of power. With that, they believe they're invincible and unstoppable. Okay? I still have faith and trust in our justice system. What we're going to do. We have the chief law enforcement officer of this county, Jimmy Edwards, that allows and condones this stalking, teams of cars following me from breaking into my house, stealing property, destroying property, shooting and firing at my vehicle, on and on and on and on. He arrogantly got on the phone with me and was trying to make light on, get you a lawyer and sue me. And I'm trying to sound as country as you think I sound like a Rhodes Scholar from Harvard compared to this guy. But at any rate, he very defiant, very defiant. And it's that mentality and that position that the locals obviously love it, because he's hard on crime and all that. And let me tell you, now he's a conduit for crime, okay? Let's just call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's deal in the truth, Sheriff. and not all the deputies and not all the people in law enforcement are down with the horse shit. Okay, but they can't really come forward and do or say anything. At least they fall victim to the monster and be destroyed and their livelihood and so forth. So they kind of have to stay out of the mix. And I understand that. So I don't ever imply or someone to get the wrong impression, which they'd like to dictate my narrative, that I'm anti-law enforcement, I'm an anarchist or anything else. Nothing can be further from the truth. I believe in our system. I believe in this country. I believe in God. I support that flag. I don't support getting on, kneeling when the flag comes down. I'm a patriot from head to toe. That's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. And if you're a true patriot, if you're really standing on the side of truth and liberties and freedom, there's no way that we can be on opposing sides, my friend. There's no way. You're either for it or you're against it. There's no middle road when it comes to what's right and wrong. These are the moral absolutes that we must abide by. And we've got guidelines and we have laws. I am accountable and you are accountable. It's when we're in a society today when people believe they can circumvent and get in a gray area of the Constitution and civil liberties. Let me tell you what, folks, there's no gray area. You have systematically targeted those, especially those with disabilities. We've got the American Disability Act, and we have laws and statutes set in place to protect those that are most vulnerable. But yet, why is it that the Department of Mississippi Department of Human Resources, for the safety of senior citizens and children, why do they play an active role in community policing? Folks, this is a dirty, dirty, dirty deal, okay? Everybody's got their finger because endowment, continued funding, it's a lot of things, and we're doing good for whatever, and so nobody's going to buy a flat-out lie. But if you mix a little truth in there or a little bit of this in there, you get you a few arrests or you help this family out, whatever it is, then you can mix all the other ingredients in there without being questioned. Just like tobacco had all the shit mixed in them cigarettes, it's killing so many people. But finally, Mississippi's the one that spearheaded that tobacco lawsuit, and this deal against BP, and they go after that. The Attorney General, Lynn Fitch, went on record that she didn't want to do anything about a citizen complaining and substantiating his constitutional and civil rights being systematically violated, including law enforcement people in her own department. But yet she has a task force built and set up in a special place set up for people that are selling hand sanitizer for too much money, gouging for hand sanitizer. But she can give two shits about a Mississippian's rights being violated and his home being broke into, his vehicles tampered with and shot at and everything else, and can prove it with photographic evidence, statements, pictures, tag numbers, places, the whole thing. Didn't even want to hear about it. But now, if you catch somebody selling hand sanitizer too much, we won't know about it. We got people sitting around with bated breath. We're going to stop that. Now, folks, really, this is what we're dealing with. So, the good news is, folks, I want to close with this for the targeted community. Okay, we're going after. We follow the paper trail and the money trail. That's where we're headed. We've got, listen, this is not a conspiracy. This is not a he said, she said. Let me tell you what, folks, there's a lot of people. It's not mud. They've got shit all over their shoes. And I realize that they, they're caught in a real tight position now with me because it would be easy to just knock me off and shoot. But then, if we kill him, hell, it validates him. But if we don't, he's not. So What are you going to do? They feel like they got a tiger by the tail. They don't know whether to ride him or turn him loose. Well, let me tell you what, folks. I tell you what's going to happen with me. Whatever it is, it's only what God is going to allow to happen. It's going to be in God's time and His plan. That's the reason I'm here today. That's the reason you've done everything you can to destroy me, my family, and everything around me. The more you isolated me, the closer I moved to God. Let me tell you, everything that you have done to target people, every game, every lie, every trick, every trap, those are the very elements, those are the very things that will end the community policing. The very things they use to destroy you are going to be the very things that deliver the death blow for community policing, that bring cataclysmic changes to their freedom, their finances, and the way they're living their lives today. I'll grant you that, my friend, that yes, this is the greatest country on the earth. And we've got a lot to be proud of, but we got a lot that we should be holding our head down about, that we have allowed this to go on for so long. I've been here at this address for 5 years. Do you know how many people have come by, dropped by, or Post-it note, invite me to church or anything else? Not the first person. These people are not doing God's work, but yet they organize in churches. Strange, isn't it? Can't explain it but one thing. You've got narrow-minded, bigoted, brainwashed, godless criminals that have a collective group of something that sounds warm and fuzzy, that is just a wet dream for Nancy Pelosi. But let me tell you what, folks, for the real world, not going to keep going for it. And we've got to expose it. I want you to go to our site, join our band, upload your data. This is not in hopes that we may try them on the highest level. Folks, that's going to happen. That's a fact, Jack. If I drop dead this instant, nothing is going to stop this wheel of justice that's going to turn and open the world's eyes to the atrocities that are being inflicted upon countless Americans. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, folks. Millions globally. Other countries have followed suit and picked up on the wonderful plan. Remember, any country you can go to and they recognize the dollar, then you best believe there's a community policing program in place. Bottom line. Appreciate you. Look to God. He's got the answers. Your peace, your healing, your happiness, it all comes from what Jesus and what He did at the cross. There's your sanity, folks. There's your peace, your healing, your deliverance, whatever it is. Your hope. All of that. That's where it comes from. All of this evil, all of the things that are going on now. Just don't have your eyes on that. Document it. Keep your eyes on Him. He'll keep you straight. He'll keep you safe. And you will not be defeated. God bless you.